Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Carla Astaphan is a multi-talented individual. She's the owner and sole potterer at the Potter's House, which offers pottery ranging in size and colors. She's a poet and board member of the Professional Association for Creativity and Entertainment, PACE. Carla is also the chairperson of the St. Kitts and Nevis Reparations Committee, among her many other pursuits. Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming her to Good Morning SKN's Expressions.
Morning, welcome.
Good morning, Jamie. Good morning.
It is such an honor to have you here in the studio, Carla. Let's talk about pottery for a moment and your love of it, which I'm sure goes back many, many years.
Yes, as I was driving here this morning, I pondered on that. So I started doing pottery back in 1993. There was a workshop held here. It was the Venezuelan Institute for Culture and Cooperation. They held a workshop at their place at Greenlands, and I attended the morning sessions. I think overall there were about 35 of us who attended. It was a potter and sculptor came from Venezuela and taught that pottery workshop, of which I was a part. There I met other like-minded individuals like Mary House and Dennis Richards. And after the workshop, we lost all our work because we used clay from St. Kitts. We dug clay from Connery and from the hillside at the time they were building. I can't remember if they were still in the process of building the Canada Simmons Highway, but we dug clay from the sides there. And he chose to do what you call a pit firing at the beach. So the next day when we went back, there was nothing, absolutely nothing.
Did you take pictures of it?
I can't recall whether we had pictures or not, but I decided I wanted to do my pottery again. So Mary is a Peace Corps volunteer, and she had already gone to Nevis and had seen the work that was being done in Nevis. So we used to make pilgrimages over to Nevis, and we would get out clay and start doing work. So that was how I started 29 years ago, 1993.
And to think of the way that you've evolved.
Was that?
I know. I'm thinking the same thing too. And to
way
see
that
that
you've
you're the only remaining potter, or the premier potter, I should say, of St. Kitts, because everything that I hear with pottery,
Yes.
I hear Carla Astaphan behind it.
Well, other potters have followed in the wake, and there were Nevis. I used to go over to Nevis. There's the Newcastle Pottery, and there was an old lady who I spent a day with, Miss Queely. I think she's now passed on, may her soul rest. So she was making these traditional Nevis pots. But I tried to do that. I tried to make Nevis pots, but my soul, my vibe wasn't going in that vein. At that time, I was making a lot of masks, and I would make handmade cups and, that sort of thing, pots. And then Mary went to Dominica, where I'm from, the following year, 1994. And she said, Carla, there's a pottery in Dominica. So I followed like about a week or two later and went to the Dominica Pottery, which wasn't too far from where I lived. And I saw what they were doing, so I decided that summer I would go back there. And I spent a month or two there learning to throw on the wheel, which is different from hand building.
Is that the most challenging aspect for you?
Well, yes, but once you get the hang of it, then you're able to, produce a lot more. Whereas hand building, you're going through all the, coiling, building, it's slow, right? So I liked the vibe of the wheel once I got it. But it took a while for me to get it. I won't tell you how I got to get it.
Now we know you're the owner of the Potter's House. Can you tell us what type of pottery do you create?
Well, today I started the Potter's House back in 1999 on the Bay Road. I had my house there, and I grew up to go back. Potters seemed to have resonated with me, so I called it the Potter's House. I don't know if it was from T.D. Jakes, but anyway, the Potter's House evolved, and I called it the Potter's House Studio and Gallery. I make cups, I make bowls, I make vases, jugs, plant pots, all those sorts of things.
Good
Quite a wide plates, over the years, small plate-like bowls have been one of my major sellers. I've also taught camp. I've taught camp to children. I've had workshops with people, all adults and children alike. I used to do a summer program with children. And so that's what I've been doing.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are joined by the multi-talented Carla Astaphan. And we've seen your work, and it's always so beautifully designed, Carla. Some of it was being shown as you were talking as well. Does living on an island provide the kind of inspiration that you think goes into your art, or do your influences come from any place?
Well, since I started, I tried to put in what I felt was the Caribbean or Kittian flavor. So you would find in the days when I was doing hand building, I would try and paint. I had worked with Kate Spencer, and I had picked up some techniques for painting. So I painted in acrylics, maybe scenery, beach scenes, try to capture that on my work. I also tried to use the national colors a lot. So I was hand painting everything back in those days, where, the red, green, and yellow, the Rasta colors or the island colors. I also liked our history. I'm very much into history. So the motifs that I used were coming from the Kalinago, who were the first people here. So I would go to the museum and, go through and see which ones resonated with me. So whether it was the wave pattern, whether it is the markings down at Old Road, all of those things I've done. I've put it into my work to, really bring home St. Kitts, make it, something that visitors and locals would want to buy. Yeah.
And so we preserve our culture as well. So
yeah.
We're good.
So when it comes to custom pieces, do you have any requests from your clients?
Yes, I do. I mean,
I've say unique requests?
I've done work. Most recent that's coming to mind was doing some pieces for the governor who wanted to give pieces to the president of Taiwan a couple years ago. So I did some pieces specifically for that and put their names on and, put the information on. I recall, I think Dr. Douglas gave a piece to the Queen many years ago. So I've had my share of You've
been to Buckingham Palace.
I was on the set of Young and the Restless when they came to St. Kitts I
remember that.
Yes, they were on Nevis, so I was on the set of it and so on. So, but I've done, if people come to me, I've made a lot of work, say, for places like Sunling, Cantors, Four Seasons, when groups are coming. So they would order bowls or plates and that sort of thing. People from overseas find my website and they request, they want to do this. The room gifts are a big thing. So that is what I've done a lot over the years.
And speaking of your website, what is your website?
My website, www.thepottershouseStKitts.com.
All right.
Yeah, thepottershouseStKitts.com.
And do you have a number as well that they can contact you at?
Yes, 662-5545. My cell phone. But the Potter's House is going, I don't know, am I preempting your questions?
Please. Go right ahead, Carla. Go right ahead.
Okay, so last year, tourism put forth a program which was called the UNDP UE, Frankfurt School of Business, Business Adaptation Program. And I signed on and participated. It was a 12-week business improvement program where we did digital, technical, marketing, finance, all of the upgrading of our skills. And at the end of the day, we had to present a business proposal, which I submitted. And what I always wanted to do, what people have been asking me, I saw Crystal, and Crystal did pottery with me, handmade. I did Let's Make Cups, right? But one thing people have always wanted to do here, they want to learn the wheel, because everyone has seen the movie Ghost.
Yes.
And so they want to come. And I've had people come over the years. I remember There are 2 raw students, they just got engaged. I follow them on Facebook, and they came to my studio and they did their ghost thing, right? So people want to do the ghost thing. So I decided that instead of just teaching hand building, why not teach people the wheel? You know, and people had been asking me about teaching the wheel. I had only 2 wheels. So I've taught the wheel to children when they come to my camp. Okay. But I needed more for me to teach. I wanted to have a place where people can come. After work, you want to de-stress. You want to get into that little vibe of being on the wheel, you know, get your partner behind you and hug the wheel with you. So if you want to learn pottery, the wheel throwing pottery. So that's the way the Potter's House is going. So we are going to be teaching a lot. I'm creating a space where people can come and learn pottery.
I'm curious to know if your students are actually going to learn the wheel faster than you did.
Well, maybe. But I think, yeah, they could. You know, because over the years, you've mastered the techniques and you know shortcuts, you know, to teach people. So that's, I'm hoping that people will want to do this. There's a lot of paint your own, and, you know, so now people will be able to make their own pottery, basically.
Indeed.
Yeah?
Indeed, yeah. And that's something very fascinating. Maybe we'll be there.
Yeah, making our own pottery soon.
That's something
Indeed.
Yes, I think it's needed. I think because, you know, pottery is very therapeutic. And so it can give people an opportunity. What I want is to give people an opportunity to experience that. People can choose whether they just want to do a one-off, you know, come make pottery, come back, glaze their pieces that survived. If people really want to get into it, then they do a program for how many weeks. So I'll offer packages, different packages that people will be able to participate in, you know. So, and that is being done in other places. It's being done where people, you know, find that pottery is a good way to release. You know, it also gives our students a chance. Those who are doing pottery in the art program, they now have a chance to come and learn the wheel as well, so that they could make more interesting pieces.
Right.